More women are cheating now today than ever. Women have always been cheating on the low, behind men's backs. Here's proof of women cheating in the 90s.
No disrespect to the man Jay-Z. No disrespect to Beyonce. All I want to just explain to everybody that's looking at this podcast right now.
Yes, sir.
Gippy knew what type of guy Pac was. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
At the time when Pac walked the earth, Pac went after every girl that was somebody's girl.
Damn.
Jada Pinkett, Biggie girl Faith,
Yeah.
Aaliyah, Kadada, Lisa Left Eye. Didn't rise and tell you the limousine pulled up in front of my house. The door kicked open, and I seen it. It was Tupac, and Lisa got in the car with Tupac and drove off in the night. Bro, he was that kind of guy.
He was hell.
And all I'm just saying to you is, hey, man, just like you went after the number one girl in the game, he would have went after her too. That's all I was saying.
There you go. So, but what does that say about female nature right now? Yeah, I'm not condoning Tupac's actions necessarily. I've never been a guy who condones or promotes guys trying to sleep with other guys' girls. That's not cool to me. Just based on like a bro code, I wouldn't want to have that karma back on me. I wouldn't want to, have the script flipped and I'm the one getting cheated on, or I'm the boyfriend while she goes out and messes with this dude who knows that she's taken. So I could never condone that kind of behavior from a guy. But think of it from the perspective of a female. Why is she cheating? Why is she, creeping around behind your back? And you have to understand that it's hypergamy, right? The other day I was on social media and I realized there's all these women who are posting pictures and videos of their guy. It's weird. It was weird. It's just it's always been weird to me when I'm on social media and I see girls posting pictures and videos of their guy like they're showing him off like he's a new pair of shoes. Really think about that. Go follow some of these girls. Go add some of these girls as friends and watch what they post. They post a lot of pictures and videos of themselves with their boyfriend. And you got to think, like, why are they doing this? It's weird because usually guys aren't doing that. Guys don't usually post pictures of their girlfriends. And if you ask a woman, she'll probably just say some nonsense like, "Oh, I'm just, so proud of him," or da da da. What she's actually doing is she's advertising him. She's showing him off because she's proud of him, like a guy would show off a new pair of shoes. If you follow a guy on social media, they might post up pictures of their new shoes. Oh yeah, I got these new kicks, or their new car. Yeah, I got this new car. Da 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 da. It's like a material thing that they're proud of, but a lot of times guys will hide their girlfriends. Guys won't post pictures of their girlfriends because they're not trying to give light to that. They're not trying to advertise their relationship because that's nobody else's business. But a lot of times what a woman will do will advertise her relationship. And if you really kind of do some digging into what that really is, it's like, first of all, she's like, "Hey, look, I got a boyfriend." Haha. It's like social proof. What's funny when you study PUA, pickup artistry, is they tell you, they teach you how to do something called social proof, meaning, prove that you have social status, prove that you have social connections, you are a social being. And why is this important? It's not important to guys. It's important to women. Women are all about social status, showing off their if you ever go to like a dentist office or a doctor's office and hear the reception, and they're all women, they're always all women in there, the receptionist talk, it's always like, "Oh yeah, we got this at the house, and we're doing this vacation and this," and it's like this competition. It's like this subtle, and it's not a nice. It's not a. They're never like nice, cool conversations. They're always like, it's very subtle, but it's like it's jealousy, and like, I'm trying to make this girl in the office jealous, or I don't like this girl, or I'm trying to like show off, or I'm trying to like keep up with the Joneses. It's this weird social thing. So there's that aspect, and then also what I think is the underlying thing why women post pictures and videos of their boyfriend is this hypergamy. A lot of it is like, hey, I'm challenging this is my boyfriend. This is the best I could do right now, but I'm challenging any other guy. If he's better than this guy, come swoop me, come get me in the DMs. And it's a weird unspoken thing, but guys do this. We compete for resources. We compete for women. We compete for territory. We compete for whatever it is, materialism. And the reason why we do that is because women like it. Women like when guys are competing in this way. It's this kind of subconscious biological thing. So what she's really doing is she's saying subtly, if anyone is better than this guy, come into my DMs and come get me. It's hypergamy. It's weird. It's creepy. It's like a quality woman is probably not going to do that. First of all, because if you really think about it, does she know people on her Facebook, right? Or her Twitter or her Instagram or whatever social media handle? Does she know anybody? Does anybody really know? I mean, like, yeah, you might know some people. Like, yeah, I've met this person or I've hung out with this person in the past. But it's 2023. Like, you're probably not going to go hang out with somebody you met on Twitter or somebody you met on Instagram. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but for the most part, these are just people you don't know and you're trying to impress. This random person added me on Facebook. I'm going to try to impress him, like, with my new car. Or so, like, it's all weird. It's all for the show. It's all materialism. So first of all, like, a woman who is posting pictures of her life, her personal life, her dating life, her boyfriend, her romantic interests on social media to people she's never met, that's a red flag. There's something wrong with that. It doesn't seem, it's just weird. It doesn't seem normal, right? That doesn't seem like why would I want these random glimpses into your personal life? Are you trying to make me jealous? Are you showing off? Are you trying to insinuate that maybe there's somebody out there better and can come get you or something? Like, this is the kind of the deep catacombs of toxic female nature, right? This is hypergamy. Women, this is what really, when a woman doesn't have God, or when a woman doesn't have a purpose, or when a woman doesn't have wholesome traditional values, this is the dissoluteness that they fall into, and it's part of their nature. It's part of that hypergamy where it's like, I'm happy that this guy's giving me attention. I want the attention. Attention is currency. Attention is validation, right? Give me validation for my life. And it's like, it's vapid. It's shallow. It's like, that's the best you could do. How about raising quality kids? How about, living in a loving, normal family life where, you have morals and you're raising your quality kids. You're raising quality kids, but instead of that, right, and loving your husband undercover, where like nobody needs to see your romantic, like, people post the weirdest stuff, man. Like, we were out on Valentine's Day and he just kissed me randomly and here's a video of it. It's like, that is so intimate. That's like, you're posting intimate moments of your life on social media as if you're like Kim Kardashian, as if you're like some celebrity reality show. And this is just strangers, and nobody asked for that. Nobody added you because, and probably I think what a lot of the reason why they do this is because they think, well, why else are these guys adding me? They're adding me because I'm hot. So what am I going to do? I'm going to show off to them that, I'm taken, I'm out of reach, you can't get me, I've got a man, and somehow that like makes them feel even more validated. Is like, like, I'm the queen, look at my life, I'm better than all you who added me and you want to get with me, but I wouldn't get with any of you because I got my man. But yet if someone's better than my man comes along and he hits me up in the DMs, like, seriously, it's a target. It's a target. Like, this is what I got. This is my man. Can you beat him? If you can, slide into my DMs. And there's always going to be someone taller, in better shape, better looking, makes more money. And all that guy's got to do is slide into your DMs. It's like somebody offering you $500 and then someone comes around and says, no, I'll give you $5,000, right? what are you going to take? You're going to take the $5,000 because it's way better. So if you're dating some guy and you post that up on social media, and some other guy who's like hotter than that guy or cooler or makes more money or more famous, whatever, slides into your DMs and he's way better than your boyfriend, I'll bet you there's going to be a lot of cheating going on. And it's the same point here, was that you got somebody like Tupac, who was like in the 90s on top of the game, and everybody thought he was the coolest of the cool because he was, basically the James Dean of hip hop, right? He was the bad boy. He was the guy that all the girls wanted, right? And he's coming around sleeping with guys' girlfriends, guys' wives. How do you think that happens? Because it's hypergamy, and you think that doesn't go on in regular life? You think that that's only, relegated to superstardom? No, man, that stuff goes on in regular life. This is how it happens. This is how women cheat. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I believe fully that more women cheat than men by far. It's probably 25% difference. I'll bet, let's say, I'm not sure the statistics, but let's say 50% of men cheat, probably lower. I'd say probably maybe 20% of men cheat because most men don't even have the option, right? We'll say 20% of men cheat. I'll bet at least 40 to 50% of women cheat. And the reason why it doesn't get more publicity, or the reason why it doesn't, it's not as much of a problem, is because they get away with it. It's so easy to do. All you got to do is have a burner phone. You just have an extra phone. You can get an extra phone on Amazon for like $60-$70. Just a basic phone where you can download Tinder or download some hookup app, download WhatsApp, download what's the one that they used to use? I forget. There's one that's like similar to WhatsApp, because it's like this third party app where like you can hide everything. It doesn't have to be a text. It doesn't have to be a phone call record necessarily. You just download Tinder. You give somebody your WhatsApp or some other kind of similar app, and then you go make all your messages on there, and then you can just delete your messages. It's so easy. He's probably never, your boyfriend or husband or whoever is probably never even going to find that extra phone. So easy. Like, how could you ever trust a woman of today? It's so easy. And you think they don't have lust? You think they don't have sexual urges? You think that women don't want that extra pleasure? You think that women don't want that extra attention, that extra validation from a hot guy that they're having sex with on the side? I mean, you're crazy. Like you have to find one who is extra special, who's above and beyond. Can you even do it? I mean, would a guy? I mean, women. Let's face it. Women are humans, just like men, and men want to, sleep around. Men want sex, a lot of sex. The difference is that women are just better at hiding it, and they have to hide it because it's in their best interest to hide it, because if men realize that women are loose promiscuously, we wouldn't want anything to do with them. And this is why so many men today are walking away from women. We're like, yeah, no, the cat's out the bag. We know, you know what I mean? Like, we all know, and it's sad. It really is sad, because these could be future wives, future mothers. That they should be future wives and future mothers. And yet, what do men have to pick from? We have just these loose, carousel riding women who've been around the block and back. And I was watching this video too recently about this guy. Was like, I always say this, but a lot of these red pill channels, they always get on men, and they're always mad at men. They're like, oh yeah, why don't men just man up and stop watching porn or stop lusting after women? Why don't you just marry a woman? And it's like, we would if there was quality women out there who actually wanted us and actually had viable opportunities. We're competing with Chad. We're competing with the richest guys on earth. And these women are more than happy to be, a part of the harem, as opposed to being one normal average guy's everything. that it's just more attractive to, oh, this guy's got $1 million, he's famous, he's rich, I'm gonna go sleep with him, as opposed to getting married to this average guy who works at an insurance company or whatever, right? And what else, do we have to choose from? Where's the quality women? Where's the really docile? I don't want to say docile, it's not the right word. Where's the pure chaste women who are like, don't have a high body count by the time they're even age 25 or 22, 21? By the time they graduate college, they're damaged from radical feminism. By the time they graduate college, they're damaged from sleeping around. A lot of young girls out here in college is basically their sexual renaissance, so to speak. They just go to college and then they just quote unquote experiment, and then they're just loose. I watched a video of a girl who said in, I think, one semester, it was either 1 year or one semester, I think she slept with 100 guys. And she's like, well, I did it because I just wanted to be sexual. It was a sexual phase. Like, yeah, it's called a hoe phase. We call it a hoe phase in the red pill manosphere community. We call it the hoe phase. You had a hoe phase. And whether it was one semester, which is like, I think 4 months, 3-4 months, or whether it was 1 year, it doesn't matter. That's a lot of dudes. It might not have been 100. It might have been like 75, but it was a high number. It was a high number. And it's like, yeah, you go off to like one of these, like universities. Like if I was a parent, I would try not to send my daughter to like a big university. Like, what do you think goes on at these big party universities? They're just drinking and hooking up and just being just exercising debauchery. I mean, come on, man. Like, what do you think they're doing at Arizona State University or Miami University or Texas University or UCLA? Like, what do you think they're doing at these big colleges? It's just hedonism. They're just practicing degenerate behavior, sorry to say. And it's like, oh, that's not cool. Like, what are you, a virgin? Like, no, I'm thinking about the future. I'm thinking about like, how are these women going to be quality mothers? How are these women going to be, you know what I mean? And it's like, so this is what we got. This is what young men have to look forward to, is like used goods, women who want to cheat on us, damaged, toxic, jaded women who don't know how to treat men right, don't know how to love men, right? This is what we got to look forward to. And it's like, it's no wonder men are walking away. And it doesn't, men don't need a pep talk to stop watching porn. The reason why men are watching porn is because they can't find quality relationships. They can't even get a woman. And even if they get a woman, she's going to be used goods. This is what I experienced 10, 15 years ago when I didn't even know any of this stuff. I was out here in the dating game, still kind of blue-pilled, still kind of looking for love. Even though I had some experiences in high school that somewhat red-pilled me, with girls. I had a girl who was on the softball team who was kind of my first love, one of my first loves. And she ended up dumping me for a guy who was in college who drove a cool Mustang, who was like a total bad boy. And looking back on it, like, yeah, like I was on the basketball team, I had status, which is probably why she liked me in the first place. But this guy was a bad boy. He was a college guy who drove a car. I didn't drive a car. She dumped me for this guy, and later on I found out that she became a single mom and all this stuff. But that was in high school. And then after, in my 20s, I was out here in the dating game, and the girls that I think I had three or four major girlfriends in my 20s and my early 30s. They were all hoes. They were all, I could tell they were, because of the way they behaved, because of, I saw red flags, and one of them, I even straight up just asked her body count, and it was a high number. So, not to say I would recommend that, because they can always lie. That's not the best way. It's not the best indicator. You got to look for red flags or certain behaviors that you got to look for. I think I made a video about it a few years ago, but and you can Google what behaviors to look for. But yeah, man, and that's what we have to look forward to. So it's like, we're not the problem. You got these red pill channels out here who are like, oh, men need to stop watching porn, and in order to have traditional women, guys have to start treating women traditionally. And it's like, that's such a dumb take. It's like, No, dude, that's just how you get taken advantage of. Women today are not traditional, so it's not like, oh yeah, let's just treat women like they're traditional, and then magically they'll become traditional. It's like, no, they're just not going to be interested in you during their hoe phase, and then they'll save you for after the hoe phase when they got kids or whatever baggage, and then they want to settle down with a traditional guy. That's when you'll get them. And then you got these guys who are like, well, it's none of my business, my wife's history. No, yeah, it is. Pump the brakes. It's absolutely your business, your wife's sexual history, or your girlfriend's sexual history, because that's the woman you're going to potentially spend the rest of your life with. That's absolutely your business. You wouldn't buy a car that you didn't know the history of it. Doesn't make sense. And yes, women aren't cars. That's true, but it's not the best analogy, but it does make sense, because it's like, you're going to be with that person for the rest of your life. You want to know what kind of quality character she has. You want to know what her past was, so you can determine what your future is going to be like with her. So you can determine, you know, the quality of the relationship that you have with her. So what do men have to choose from? All these women out here are used. And so it's like, where's the pure woman? And I'm not saying necessarily virgins per se. It's like, okay, you had a boyfriend and you guys had sex. Like you had maybe 2 or 3 boyfriends by the time you're 25. And it's like, yeah, sex happens. I get it. I'm not mad at that. What I'm mad at is like 10, 20, 30, 40 lay count. That's beyond normal. I think the statistic is, I think it's after 5 or 6 sex partners, 7 maybe, sex partners, women start to, their ability to pair bond plummets. So there is a limit. There's a number, and it's pretty much below 5, right? If you can get a woman who has below 5, you know, that's like buying a car that has really low mileage. Like that's I mean, obviously it's not a 1-to-1, because this is a person. She might have a low body count and she's a terrible person. It's not necessarily a complete, and she might be a great person. She might have a fun personality and be real cool, but she slept with 100 dudes. I mean, that's a deal breaker, you know. And it's like, how do you know? Because she could lie. There's indications, and it's just, you know, honestly, you can also just assume, is she over age 22? Is she graduated from college? And she's probably you know, promiscuous. She's probably loose. She's probably got a high body count, right? You know, and 10, 20, 30, that's just too much. That's too much. I could see 2 or 3, you know. You had a boyfriend in high school, you guys eventually had sex. You had a boyfriend in college, you guys had probably a lot of sex, but whatever. And then you might have had a boyfriend after college, like 3. Okay, that's not terrible. I can maybe work with that, you know. But you know, above that, I hooked up with this guy in between boyfriends. I hooked up with like 3 guys, you know, when I was on vacation in Florida last year. I hooked up with this guy, you know, on Halloween when we went out and did this, and I hooked up with this guy at this house party, and then that number tends to increase. I saw actually Ghostface Killah. I'm not sure if you guys listen to rap much. I don't anymore that much, but because it's pretty vulgar and negative. But I used to a lot when I was younger, and I used to like the Wu-Tang Clan. And Ghostface Killah is a rapper in the Wu-Tang Clan. He was on a show, I forget what show, some Breakfast Club or something, and he was talking about a woman's body count, and he was like, if you think about it, if a woman just hooks up with like, say, 5 guys a year, if you add that up in like 10 years, that's 50 guys, right? Think about it. If a woman sleeps with 5 guys a year, if you add that up, that's 50 guys. So she you know, 5 guys a year is like what, one every 2 months, right? One new guy every 2 or 3 months. You know, actually not 3 months, but like one every 2 months, about 2 months and some change, right? She goes to the club, she meets a new guy, right? Hangs out with him for a little while, having a lot of sex, doesn't work out, goes back to the club, finds another guy. 5 guys a year. In 10 years, that's 50 guys. That's what he said. He said that, and he's a celebrity, so he sees this happening for these women who go out, you know, to these clubs and stuff. This is modern women. This is normal behavior for modern women. Oh yeah, you know, and it's stuff that doesn't get talked about. because they want to sweep the truth under the rug, right? 5 guys a year, 10 years, it's 50 guys. That's not a quality woman. How jaded, how emotionally damaged is she going to be? Because women are emotionally attached to sex as much as, and women can have sex indiscriminately just for the physical act, but it damages their emotions. It damages their emotions, and after a while, they start to get jaded. They start to get toxic. They just get damaged, and that's what you get. That's what you inherit when finally they're ready to settle down. Finally, they're done with their hoe phase. Finally, they're ready to, I need a traditional man to help me raise my kid from another guy, or I need a traditional man because, I just want something real now. How many times you see that on dating apps? I want something real. I'm ready to settle down. She's got like 3 kids. Or even if she doesn't have 3 kids, it's still an indication that I'm done with my hoe phase. It's time to settle down, right? So there you go. Anyway, just a little information I wanted to pass on. Something to talk about. Hope y'all are doing well. Appreciate it. Jay Lee, Northwest Podcast. Peace.